Hello, guys. It's Kelly, and I'm so happy to be here with you today to talk about the books that I read in January of 2022. It was an epic reading month for me. I actually read 13 books. To put it in perspective, I read 23 in all of 2021, and I have a 25 book goal for 2022. So, I kind of passed it. To be fair, though, I did have surgery and a lot of time on my hands where I couldn't do anything. So, I read, I listened to audiobooks and ebooks and paperbacks for most of these, but I'll tell you if it was any different. I'm not going to get into a lot of reviews of these because I think every book is worth your read. I don't want to be the one to be like, hey, Kelly said this wasn't the book she liked, so I shouldn't read it. Don't want to do that. But I just wanted to give you a look at the books that I read this month and the books that you know, that I gravitate toward, I should say. There's some horror books, some thriller books, and some young adult. We'll get into it as we go along. The first book I listened to was Wicked Souls. I listened to this on audio. It's by Katie Wismer. I always say her name wrong. I'm so sorry. This is the second book in the Marionettes series. The first book is called The Marionettes. This is where we pick up with Valerie Darkmoor. I don't really want to get too much into the synopsis if you've not read The Marionettes. If you've not read The Marionettes, you should, and if you can, I would listen to it on audio because the narrator is amazing. I love the narrator. I really liked Wicked Souls, and here I said I wasn't going to give what I thought about it. I'm not. I am a professional non-reviewer. Okay, so I don't know why I have these up here. I need to click those off. Sorry. I'll go back and watch those. But yeah, if you like paranormal romances, if you like vampires and witches, definitely check this one out. The next book okay, I'm one of those weird people that listen to Horrorstor in audio when I could. And audio is wonderful. I love audiobooks. I have read my fair share of audiobooks this month. And of course, for people who have a hard time seeing or can't see, love audiobooks. Horrorstor is a great story in audio. I want to get it in paperback and hardcover is what I'm trying to say. Because I looked up part of it on Amazon and I think it's pretty. I think it's supposed to look like an IKEA book or IKEA catalog, not real sure. But yeah, it's by Grady Hendrix, who you will see again on this list because I'm pretty sure I have made it my goal to read every Grady Hendrix book ever. This is about the narrators. I don't know who the girl is. I'm very sorry, but the guy is Bronson Pinchot. If you are from the 80s, you know Bronson Pinchot. He was Balky on Perfect Strangers. And he was also in The Langoliers as the guy that ripped the paper. If you remember that Stephen King miniseries, he's one of the guys. He reads the parts about the things in the store, like the catalog part, and then there's another lady that reads the other parts, who did a wonderful job. They both did a good job. I really want to get. I would love to see a copy of this, a hardcover copy of it. I bet it's amazing. Okay. But yeah, this is about a Orsk furniture superstore in Cleveland, Ohio. Every morning, employees arrive to find the broken bookshelves, scattered goblets, and smashed wardrobes. I'm not even going to try to say these. Sales are down, security cameras reveal nothing, and the store managers are panicked. And you will find out why when you read Horrorstor. Next, I listened to Tell Me a Story. This is a short story. It's about 82 pages. I listened to it on audio. It's about a popular late night radio segment called Tell Me a Story. Joel Farrelly encounters a vast array of different callers from all walks of life, each with his own unique and terrifying tale to tell, and then a secret comes out from his past that he thought would stay not in the past. So, yeah, that was Tell Me a Story. Listen to that one. I also listened to A Study in Scarlet Women. This is not a horror book. It's a historical fiction, and it's if Sherlock Holmes was actually Charlotte Holmes. This one is great in audio too. I already have the next two books in audio. I haven't listened to them yet, but I have them, and I'm planning on it next month. And Charlotte, uh, she doesn't want to be the typical lady in her part of the world. So she comes up with a plan on how not to be a lady, and by golly, that plan works. And then she starts off on a grand adventure, let's say. Grand adventure. This one, I said I wasn't going to give any reviews of them, but I like that. Alright, Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric Larocca. If you like horror, you have probably heard about this book. It is 102 pages, very short. It's won lots of awards. It's very horror-ish and very weird. I didn't write it because I didn't know what to write it. I was very torn. Very torn. It has to do with an apple peeler. Really all you need to know. Has to do with an apple peeler. Also read The Hay Bale by Priscilla Bettis. She is one of our good friends here on the channel. If you've seen the comment section, she's in there. I love this book. I know I'm not supposed to give reviews. So, this is the second time I'm filming this, actually. The first time, I gave kind of reviews and my thoughts, and I was like, I better not. So, I'm redoing it. This one is a contemporary Southern Gothic. I will tell you that Southern Gothic is one of my absolute favorite subgenres in horror. Love it so much. It's about a professor, Claire Davenport, who yearns to be a mother. After suffering 4 miscarriages, the university microbiologist tries and fails to qualify as an adoptive mother. Then her husband leaves. Then she goes to rural Virginia to heal. And there's a local farmers, and she can't touch a hay bale. And then you need to read to find out what happens next. I read this one on ebook. Then I listened to Nothing But Blackened Teeth on audio. Is this cover? I know I've talked about this cover. If you're on my TikTok, I talk about this cover all the time. But is it not the absolute coolest cover you've ever seen in all the days of your life? It's amazing. I love it. Did they change the cover? That's the hardcover? Oh, no. Oh. Well, that's a cover. Oh my. I don't think you should mess with perfection, though. It's not that the hardcover edition is bad, the cover. It's not this one. And this is why I picked it up, to be honest, this cover right here. If you've ever seen, like, The Ring or The Grudge, it's sort of based on the same Japanese folklore as those movies are. So it's about these friends who go to Japan because 2 of them are getting married, and they find a ghost bride with a black smile and a hungry heart. So, dun dun dun. It's really short too. It's 128 pages. Even if you read it in black paperback or ebook, it's really short. The audio was not very long either. Okay, Winding Hall. I listened to on audio, and it's one of those books when you listen to it on audio that has like the entire cast of characters, which I think is super fun. It reminds me of how I would imagine it would be back before TVs when you listen to like Guiding Light on the radio. It's kind of what I imagine this is. This is if you know the story of like there's a lot of bands, but the one that I know is Red Hot Chili Peppers when they went to the house to write and make this album. It was haunted. which is kind of why they went to it, I think. This is kind of that idea where this band goes to this haunted, abandoned country house to record and write music, only the group's lead singer disappears and is never heard from again. And they have surviving musicians with their psychic and photographer and the band's manager, and they meet with a young documentary filmmaker to tell their own version of what happens that summer. It's you need, yeah, not giving reviews. Not giving reviews, but yeah. I also listen to The Girl from the Well. This one is like Nothing But Blackened Teeth, which is meaning it's based on, I think, the same story as Nothing But Blackened Teeth is based on. It's about a girl. It's a young adult horror, which is pitched as Dexter Meets the Grudge, based on well-loved Japanese ghost story. I guess I can kind of see the Dexter part. Yeah, okay. I can see Dexter Meets the Grudge. Okay. I give it to it. I get it. So, you are the girl from the well. She's the main character, and I guess she's talking to you. And so I guess you're not technically her, but she's talking to you. And everything that happens in this book is her watching it happen. So everything the main characters do, it's what she sees happening. She's in all these locations when it happens. So that's basically the premise, and then you find out, why she's in the well, what's going on, things like that. And if you hear my husband snoring, I'm sorry. Okay, there's also what I wanted to ask is I've only read the first book. There's more, and I don't know. I just feel like this book ended really well. Like, I think it feels complete to me, but I'm definitely not opposed to reading the next book in the series. If you've read the next book in the series, let me know to see if I need to read it again, or read it for, I might read it. We'll see. What do you think? Next, I both listened to and read My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix, on here again. I had it in audio, and then I remembered that I had it on ebook, so I switched from audio to ebook, and I'm glad I did because the ebook had pictures. And it's set up like a yearbook. If you saw the original cover, this cover, it looks like a yearbook, and when you read the book, it has different yearbook type of pictures in it. That's why I'm glad that I switched to ebook, along the line. But the audio was good. It wasn't a bad audio experience at all. It was just, it had different pictures and stuff in the ebook, and I'm sure the paperback hardcover as well too. This book is about Abby and Gretchen, and they've been best friends since 5th grade, and you find out all this stuff about them, how they got to be friends. Then they become friends with 2 other girls. They go to one of the girls' lake houses. They're on a boat. They do drugs for the first time. Bad things happen. People get possessed. And nobody thinks anything's wrong with Gretchen except for Abby. And Abby tries to save Gretchen. I like this last sentence, but is their friendship powerful enough to beat the devil? Dun, dun, dun. I guess you'll see. Then, away from the horror, we have 14 Ways to Die by Vincent Ralph. If you saw my TikTok, which is what is my TikTok? I think it's at Kelly Martin Books, I think. Yeah, it's Kelly Martin Books. If you saw my TikTok, you saw that on January the 12th, which was the day before January 13th, I took my daughter on a birthday trip to Books A Million and picked me out some books as an, oh my gosh, I'm terrified of surgery, I need to buy things trip. This was one of the 3 books that I bought. It was buy 2, get 1 free. And this was one of them. So I read this one in paperback. It's 14 Ways to Die. 10 years ago, Jess's mother was murdered by the Magpie Man. And the Magpie Man was the name that her dad gave the serial killer. She was the first of his victims, but not the last. Now, Jess is a star of a YouTube reality series, and she's using it to catch the killer once and for all. The whole world is watching her every move, and so is the Magpie Man. I love any kind of book that has, like, the Magpie Man, the Chalk Man, Pennywise. When you have these elusive serial killers and they have, like, cool names. I'm all for that in books. I don't know why. It's probably a weird thing. This is a young adult thriller book. It's 400 pages, and I love the tagline: 1 killer, 13 victims, 1 million views. And one of the selling points, which I thought was hilarious, and that I appreciated it because I love books that have this in it. I got the paperback, and on the back it said that one of the selling points was that it had short chapters, and I was like, yes. I have to have this book. And it did have short chapters. It did not lie. And I feel like that I read faster when they're short chapters because I feel like there's momentum going. And yeah, that's what happened with this book. I felt the momentum going. But yeah, I'm not going to tell you anything about it because you don't really need to know it to get into it. But definitely, it was a ride. It was a ride. Okay. Then I read This Perfect Place to Die. This was the second book I bought at Books A Million in the 3 for buy 2, get 1 free stack of books. This is by Bryce Moore. Okay. I'm going to read this and then I'm going to... Okay. Stalking Jack the Ripper meets Devil in the White City. If you know what Devil in the White City is, you probably know who the killer is in The Perfect Place to Die, but I'm not going to say it because I said it in the last video that I made, but that I didn't upload because I made this one so it wouldn't have spoilers and, things in it. So I'm not going to say anything about it. Oop. But let's get all these off. If you know who it is, you know who it is. Okay. In order to save her sister, Zaretta takes a job at a notorious house of horrors that she might never escape. Zaretta never thought she'd encounter a monster, one of the world's most notorious serial killers. Okay. She had resigned herself to a quiet life in Utah. When her younger sister Ruby travels to Chicago during the World's Fair and disappears, Zaretta leaves home to find her. But 1890 Chicago is more dangerous and chaotic than she imagined. She doesn't know where to start until she learns of her sister's last place of employment, a mysterious hotel called The Castle. In the end, she finds herself up against one of the most infamous mass murders in American history and his custom-built death trap. I like how they gave all that information without telling you who the killer was in case you didn't know any of your Chicago serial killer history. So I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say who the killer was. I will say that the cover is beautiful. I love the cover. It was a fun read. Not going to give any more details than that. But, yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm just going to go. Okay, The Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I just finished this one last night. I listened to this one on audio. This one is about a girl who has to do, her name's Pippa, and she chooses the case as a topic for her final year project. We don't do that here. Do y'all do that where you live? Final year projects? We don't do that here. And what the thing was 5 years ago, one of the kids in her town named Hay Bale was murdered. And they say she was killed by Sal, who was her boyfriend. And then he ended up killing himself. The police knows he did it. Everyone in town knows he did it. But did he really do it? It started with her trying to figure out what happened, and then did it really happen, and then she involved his brother Ravi. So it was a tangled web, very much tangled web. And this is kind of, it's the first book in a series. This is like the Girl from the Well. It's nothing like Girl from the Well, but what I'm asking, if you've read this second book, do you need to read the second book? Like, it feels like this is complete to me. I'm not morally against reading more about Pippa and Ravi at all, but I guess I'm saying, do I need to? Here we can. I probably will. That'll be on my February TBR. And if you're curious on and why wouldn't you be, of what the third book was that I got in my 2-for-1 paperbacks from Books A Million, it was 5 Total Strangers by Natalie Richards. I'm not finished with it yet. I just started it today. Might get it finished tomorrow, but it will not end up in this because I've got to finish this and upload it. But yeah, that's what it is. Paperback's really pretty, and it's a young adult mystery thriller too. So those are the 13 books that I have read in January. You can kind of see where my reading tastes lie when you look at this list. We have young adult mystery, young adult, well, it's still mystery, historical, young adult mystery, young adult paranormal mystery horror, young adult horror, but it's kind of a mystery too, horror, gothic horror, southern gothic horror, horror. This one's mystery too, like historical mystery, horror, and probably more new adult, maybe young adult, but probably more new adult paranormal romance. So there we go. I needed some mystery in my life. I needed to figure out all the secrets. So, what do you think? What books did you read in January? Tell me in the comments so I will know what I need to pick up in January. Did you read the sequels to The Good Girl's Guide to Murder, or The Girl from the Well, or The Study in Scarlet Women, or any others have sequels? Oh, The Wicked Souls. I know that I'm definitely going to read book 3 whenever it comes out. Book 2 requires me to read book 3, let's say. Alright, and have you read 5 Total Strangers that I'm working on right now? Alright, friends, what is your favorite audiobooks? Do you have favorite audiobook narrators? Tell me all the things in the comments. I'm off a whole nother month. I don't get to go back to work till March as of right now. We'll see what happens. But I've got a lot of time, and I need some more books to read, so if you can give me some recommendations in the comments. This is what I like. I didn't rate any of these books bad because all these books are things that appeal to me, or I would not have picked them up. So this is what I like. What should I be reading? Tell me in the comments. I'm so glad to have you here. Be sure to subscribe if you've not subscribed, and hit the notification bell so you'll know. Is there a notification bell? I think there is. I've not done this in so long. Hit the notification bell if you want to know when I update. Hit the like button. That would help me a whole lot. And yeah, I'm going to be doing I was going to do a 2022 release date video next week. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that now. I do have a Heart of Horror book video lined up for Valentine's Day that I cannot wait to get to you in February. My birthday is the 15th. That's just what it is. And I look forward to reading way more books and listening and reading all of your recommendations. I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.